let's continue our discussion around the People's Democratic Party, a party that has, of course, undergone a remarkable change in fortune since 2015. And with me in the studio to discuss all of that, of course, as you know, the PDP's National Convention took place over the weekend. It's been something of a historical triumph for some and a masterpiece of fiction for others, depending on which faction of the party you belong to. Well, let's move straight ahead, and I'm joined now in the studio for a further discussion about all that by the PDP's National Deputy Legal Advisor and a member of the Wike camp, Okechukwu Osuoha. Thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Perhaps you could explain to us what your current situation is in the PDP, because we understand you were suspended a few months ago.
Thank you so much. I will start by, let me clarify issues and enlighten the Nigerian public and the citizens.
Briefly,
because we are in democracy and we're practicing democracy, and democracy must strive by the rule of law. The problem we've been having in our party is that some individuals allow their personal interest to override the collective interest of the party. PDP is
and who are these individuals?
I know, I will tell you, like those people who went and they disobeyed court judgment and then ran to Ibadan and decided to say they have conducted, met with friends and their associates and said they had a convention. But in the eyes of the law, there was no convention.
Yeah, but there are two things there. I mean, you're a lawyer yourself.
Okay.
I mean, the one thing there is that, first of all, they secured a court order. And according to the rules of court, the last judgment is the one that prevails. That's number one. Number two, they're also relying on the Supreme Court judgment, which said that parties have to sort out their own internal affairs. So on what basis are you talking?
I disagree, because I'm a lawyer. In our legal jurisprudence, in our legal system, there are hierarchy of courts provided in the Constitution. We have the State High Court, the Federal High Court, as provided in Section 249, 270, and then we have the Appeal Court, 237. But even in 240, it was so clearly stated and provided that all the appeals from this State High Court or the Federal High Court should be taken to an Appeal Court. So let me tell you what happened. When you say they got an ex parte emotion and ex parte order, a court of competent jurisdiction, a Federal High Court, sat on a matter and deliberated, saw it, and the people came and gave their defense. Finally, the court gave judgment, and an unambiguous and clear judgment, that there should be no convention.
Yeah, but
that you should put the convention on hold.
Yes.
But go and put your house in order.
But in
and
the
people, let me just end this thing.
Okay.
People ran to another court of coordinate jurisdiction in Ibadan and obtained an interim order. When we say ex parte order, it's an interim order that has an expiration date of 7 days, and say that. And let me tell you, in court, in law, there's no way an ex parte order can override or set aside a judgment of a court of competent jurisdiction.
But is there any way that a federal high court or whichever other court can override the judgment of the Supreme Court?
But there's a process, the process and the step to take whenever you're dissatisfied with a judgment of a court of first instance. You approach the court, the appellate court. That's why we have it in our constitution. And you can apply for stay of execution. That is the process in law. We have procedural law. Because when you don't do this, it amounts to abuse of court process, and then the disobedience of court order or court judgment,
but you
which will amount to contempt of court.
Right. You haven't answered my question at the outset. What exactly is your position in the PDP now? In what capacity are you speaking, sitting here now?
I'm the Deputy National Legal Advisor.
But you were suspended.
Not suspended. What kind of suspension? Those things were just people that came up and then I saw it. Are
you saying the party does not have the party?
There are process. There are organs of the party, and there's procedures. There's procedures.
Right.
I was not even written. There was not even any information given to me. Nobody gave me any offense I committed. You don't just go to social media and say I was elected in 2021 with other national officers, and our tenure is supposed to last for 4 years. That's supposed to end in December next month. So how can you suspend me?
Right.
There was no offense preferred against me.
Okay, so
and even in law, if you say somebody committed, you give me a first hearing.
Right.
Give him chance to defend himself.
Indeed.
Even those who they say they have expelled, all these things are
so you're sitting tight.
Yes, basically. I'm a deputy national legal advisor.
No, you're sitting tight.
Yes.
Now, let me ask you the other question.
Go ahead.
Are you a member of Nyesom Wike's camp?
I don't. It's you that is saying it.
No, I'm asking you a question. Are you a member of his
I'm
camp?
not working in the federal capital territory. Are you hearing me?
I like that.
I think I'm a politician and a lawyer. In fact, I've served 2 times as a commissioner in Abia
Okay,
State
let me
and
put it this way. Are you sympathetic to his political point of view as far as the PDP
That's a
is
pertinent
concerned?
question, and I will answer you that.
Right.
This man, every time, Nyesom Wike, all these people that are parading themselves, there was a time this political party, PDP, nearly collapsed and went into oblivion. It was this same Wike that supported the party. But he was the governor of Rivers State. He did everything possible to make sure that the party is alive till today. And every time you accuse him, he has done this. And he kept on supporting the party. And I tell you, there are a lot of stakeholders and leaders of the party who have committed anti-party activities. As I'm speaking to you, a lot of people went and attend meetings in the ADC meeting.
So that's an admission that Nyesom Wike has committed anti-party
He
activities.
has not. Have you ever given him, is there any accusation, any allegation?
No. Well, the allegations are myriad. I mean, one of them that stands out for everybody to see is that he is supporting
speculation.
Supporting another candidate.
My good brother,
for elections.
There's organs of the party
against
that
the candidates of his
and
party.
critical decisions.
I mean, that's an anti-party
I'm a member
activity,
of NEC.
isn't it?
The highest organ of the party is NEC, National Executive Committee. The last NEC meeting, 102 meeting, I was present. All the decisions we took there, we said that we should share our sword, that we should maintain peace and let there be unity for us to go and to conduct and do our convention so that we can have peace and then be able to produce candidates who will go and run election in 2027. Nobody mentioned anything about expulsion. Nobody mentioned anything about anti-party. There was a time even the party through the NEC.
Well, they said they wrote to them.
Writing. Who wrote to them? Nobody.
Well, that's what they said.
There was a disciplinary committee that was established and constituted by the NEC, headed by Chief Tom Ikimi. The last NEC meeting, they were asked, there was no report. That's why I said there are procedures in law. You don't take unilateral actions. You don't take arbitrary actions.
Let's move on from there because you're a lawyer.
Yes,
so let's try and tap your considerable legal knowledge.
Okay.
Are you struck by what the law can and cannot do in times of party political crisis, such as you have in the PDP right now?
Like every time, people will just mention there was a Supreme Court judgment that said that the party is supreme. They should handle their affairs internally. Let me tell you, I read that judgment. Supreme Court was so emphatic. He said, if you want to do things in your party, don't be bothering the court, but handle your affairs of your party internally in accordance with the constitution of your party and the rules and regulations of your party and the other extant laws of the land, like the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and then the Electoral Act. He didn't say you should go and do things arbitrarily or do things unlawfully or go and exclude people, go and infringe on the people's fundamental rights.
Well, they would argue that they're
because if you do that, they will come in. That's why the law is there.
They would argue that they're not doing things arbitrarily.
They are.
But obviously,
we are in a democratic society.
Against theirs.
Democracy thrives by the rule of law.
Okay.
How can you? We had a NEC meeting that said if we must go for convention, go and put our house in order and do congresses in all the states where congresses have not been done, essentially in the southeast. You have not done congress in Ebonyi State. You have not done party congress in Anambra. Even southeast congress that was done before, the court nullified it. Next, say go and do it. Even in Ekiti State, court ordered for a congress. You will forget it. You won't do it. You go for convention. That means you are excluding some people, delegates who will come and participate in that convention. These are contrary and violation of the laws of
the. Okay.
And let me tell you,
in those circumstances, because we're fast running out of time, do you think the PDP, as it currently is, still has power and value in terms of a crucial role to play in this country's politics? Because increasingly, many people like us who are observers are seeing the PDP as a party that is becoming less and less significant as a result of these kinds of open wound, arguments in public, a party that is at a crisis point from which it might never recover.
It will recover. There's still a chance. But what I want us to do, we must obey law. We must follow the due process of the law. There should be no impunity. People should not be doing things by their whims and caprices. There's still chance for us to put our house in order. Court has given that order. Go and put your house in order. And we have even appointed, there's a new acting chairman right now as I'm talking to you, Abdulrahman Muhammad. And right now, with the national secretary, the INEC guided us properly that the office of the national secretary is fundamental. We have to preserve some of these organs of the party and positions. We do things properly. When the time comes, we'll do a proper convention. I'm telling you, in the eyes of the law, that thing they purportedly claimed was a convention was not a convention. You can see that INEC did not observe it, even by electoral act. The INEC is supposed to observe all the actions of the party.
Yeah, but actually, from a legal point of view, all the party has to do is to inform INEC and to be sure that INEC has actually got the information.
Even the information
that
that 21 days notice was not even given.
Yeah.
It was not even given. And apart from that, INEC is supposed to observe, because what is the report you're going to give to INEC? You're expelling the national secretary. And constitutionally, it's the secretary that has the duty and functions to even issue notices to INEC, even correspondences, even reports, even annual report. And you are just shooting ourselves on the leg.
Yeah, but wasn't it clear? I mean, as it is to us, it's probably clearer to you that the party was at a fundamental impasse. And it simply was not going to go forward the way things were moving.
That impasse or that crisis or conflict is man-made. We are inflicting that.
Obviously, we didn't think it was.
Yes, we are inflicting that. We're inflicting those injuries on ourselves.
Yeah.
I said it time and time again. There was a time I appeared even in channel television, and I told them that we should tread with caution. My party leaders and all the party executives, that we should be careful what we are doing. They always claim and they accuse the ruling party APC that they want to destroy PDP. They want to kill PDP. Why we are shooting ourselves on the leg and we are laying booby traps? We don't do things in accordance with the law. We violate rules and regulations of the party and even the extant laws. How do you think we will move forward? So we need to do things proper and not accusing people or expelling people, even without process. You go to a purported convention that was not even known to law. You go there and say, I've expelled Mike, I've expelled National Secretary, I've expelled Mawu Habonwa. Without due process.
Well, I hope
the organs are not, they don't even know about any expulsion.
Well, we're out of time.
That's what I will tell you. We need to tread with caution.
So
that Nigerians are looking up to us so that we can be able to rescue Nigeria.
Okay. I do hope that for the sake of this country's democracy, you guys get your house in order. I want to thank you very much indeed. Okechukwu Osuoha is a rather disputed national deputy legal advisor.
I disagree with you.
And he is,
the national deputy
in spite of himself, a member of the weekend
by next month.
Thank you very much.
I was sworn in December 2021. Thank you so much.
Thank you.